The Chicago Cubs have launched a new website to celebrate Wrigley Field, as this year will be the 100th year of operation for the historic ballpark. WrigleyField100.com will have articles, pictures, videos, and online polls, among other features, to celebrate the history of the iconic stadium. Wrigley Field was built in 1914, and the Cubs aren't the only team to consider the ballpark their home. The Chicago Bears played there from 1921 through 1970, and Northwestern University's football team played a home game there in 2010. The Chicago Blackhawks also played a home game there in 2009 as part of the National Hockey League's annual Winter Classic. The Chicago Bears have re-signed cornerback Sherrick McManus. The team announced Wednesday that McManus agreed to return on a one-year contract, but the terms of the deal weren't disclosed. McManus came to the Bears in 2012 in a trade from the Houston Texans. Houston drafted him out of Northwestern in 2010, and he's made his career as a solid special teams player. He had 15 special teams tackles and 10 defensive tackles last year. The Chicago Bears have released punter Adam Podlish. He was signed in 2011 to replace aging punter Brad Maynard, but his time in the Bears uniform has been inconsistent at best. Last year, Podlish had a career-low net average of 37 yards per punt. His hang time, distance, and velocity have been questionable at times, and this move provides the Bears with salary cap relief. Podlish had been signed through 2015 and was set to make $3 million over the next 2 seasons. Drew Butler and Tress Way, who were signed in December, will compete for the punter's job this year. The Chicago Bears have re-signed cornerback Charles Tillman. He was given a 1-year contract to come back to Hallis Hall, but he did test the free agent market earlier in the week. Tillman was drafted by the Bears in 2003, and since then he's grabbed 36 career interceptions, which ranks third on the Bears' all-time list. He's also known for his charity work, for which he earned the Walter Payton Man of the Year award in February. Last year, Tillman's season was cut short due to a torn tricep. He was also afflicted with a sore knee earlier in the year. When free agency began Tuesday, Tillman met with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are now coached by Lovie Smith. Smith ran the Bears' sidelines from 2004 through 2012. Tillman, along with linebacker Lance Briggs, will lead a rebuilding defense that allowed a league-high 22 rushing touchdowns last season. Chicago White Sox catcher Josh Phegley will begin this season in the minor leagues. The team announced Wednesday that Phegley was sent down to their AAA affiliate, the Charlotte Knights. Phegley started last season in Charlotte before being called up to the majors in July. He had a .316 batting average with 15 home runs and 41 runs batted in before getting the call. An injury to Tyler Flowers, plus the poor performance of Hector Jimenez, pushed Phegley into the starting lineup. Unfortunately, Phegley's numbers didn't carry over to the major leagues. He finished the 2013 season with a .206 average, only 4 home runs and just 22 runs batted in. Chicago White Sox legend and Baseball Hall of Famer Frank Thomas has filed a lawsuit against Reebok. Crain's Chicago Business reports that Thomas is suing the sports apparel company because they released a line of shoes in his name without permission. During his career, Thomas' nickname was, quote, the Big Hurt, because of his ability to hit home runs. In 1995, he signed an endorsement deal with Reebok, and they released a brand of footwear titled, quote, the Big Hurt Collection in his honor. According to Thomas, that agreement ended in 1998. His lawsuit accuses the company of relaunching the shoe line without his consent. The suit seeks a permanent injunction to stop the sale of the brand. He's also seeking financial compensation resulting from any profits that were generated. UIC head basketball coach Howard Moore is keeping his job despite finishing the season with a 6-25 record. Illinois Chicago Athletic Director Jim Schmidt tells the Chicago Tribune that he doesn't evaluate Moore on wins and losses alone, and that he gives the coach a vote of confidence. In 2010, Moore was brought in to coach the Flames men's basketball program after the retirement of the legendary Jimmy Collins, who won 3 Horizon League championships and led the Flames to 4 postseason appearances. Moore's career record at UIC is 38-86, but he did lead the program to the second round of the College Insider Tournament in 2013. That achievement earned Moore a contract extension last summer. He's also had some success with recruiting, especially in the Chicago area. Over the last 4 years, Moore has coached 22 Chicago area players. DePaul University says Oliver Purnell will remain the head coach of its men's basketball program. Despite finishing last in the Big East Conference for the last 4 years, DePaul Athletic Director Gene Lenty Ponceno is standing by her embattled coach. Purnell was hired in 2010 with the reputation of rebuilding programs. In his previous stops at Clemson, Dayton, Old Dominion, and Radford, Purnell had 12 20-win seasons, 6 conference championships, and coached in 6 NCAA tournaments. He also had success with recruiting. Since taking over at DePaul, Purnell's record is 41-84. They've won only 9 conference games on his watch, and recruiting has been a struggle. At the end of last season, 5 DePaul players transferred to other schools. This year was especially challenging for the Blue Demons. The well-publicized but mysterious suspension and removal of forward Cleveland Melvin cast a shadow over the program that never went away. Also, the lengthy suspension of forward Jamie Crockett and injuries to a handful of players derailed a once promising season after an 8-5 start. DePaul hasn't played in the postseason since 2007, and attendance at home games has decreased during Purnell's tenure. You're listening to Rivet. Loyola Ramblers freshman guard Milton Doyle is taking home some hardware this year. Doyle was named both the Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Year and Newcomer of the Year. He's also an honorable mention for the All-Missouri Valley Conference team. This is Loyola's first year competing in the MVC. Despite the team's 9-21 record this season, Doyle has given Ramblers fans plenty to cheer for. He leads the team in scoring, assists, steals, and blocks. Loyola travels to St. Louis Thursday to play in the Missouri Valley Conference men's basketball tournament. Despite his mysterious departure from DePaul University, former Blue Demons forward Cleveland Melvin has been claimed as a free agent by the Erie Bayhawks. The Bayhawks are the minor league affiliate of the New York Knicks in the NBA's developmental league. For reasons still unknown, Melvin was suspended by DePaul in January and left the school altogether a few weeks later. The university refuses to comment on the matter, citing federal privacy laws, and Melvin hasn't said anything publicly. He was a 4-year starter for the Demons and was their leading scorer this season, averaging 16 points per game. He was supposed to graduate from DePaul this year. DePaul women's basketball head coach Doug Bruno has been named the 2014 Big East Conference Coach of the Year. Bruno is in his 28th year coaching the Lady Blue Demons. This is his 3rd Coach of the Year award, but his first as a Big East coach. He previously won the award when DePaul was a member of Conference USA. The Demons are 24-6 this season and are ranked 25th in the country. This year, DePaul University is hosting the Big East Conference women's basketball tournament. Legendary head coach Phil Jackson has returned to the NBA. This time, it'll be in the front office as the president of the New York Knicks. Before leading the Chicago Bulls and Los Angeles Lakers to a combined 11 NBA championships, Jackson played for the Knicks in the 70s and was a member of 2 championship teams. This is Jackson's first front office job, and he has a lot of work ahead of him. The Knicks are last place in the NBA's Atlantic Division with a record of 26-40. There is also concern that forward Carmelo Anthony, the Knicks' best offensive player, will void the final year of his contract next season to become a free agent. There's also speculation that head coach Mike Woodson will be fired at the end of the season, and Jackson could be seen as a potential replacement for him. Knicks owner James Dolan has come under fire in recent years for not giving his front office personnel the necessary freedom they need to operate the franchise. Jackson will be the 3rd team president in the last 11 years. He was preceded by Isaiah Thomas, Donnie Walsh, and most recently Glenn Grunwald. You're listening to Rivet.